Well, good morning to you because it's 9:18 in the morning right now as I'm ready to run my mouth doing what I love to do most, and that is talk about politics. Good politics, bad politics, 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 politics. That's how I operate. Well, as you know, the USA is experiencing a culture war, and we talk about how ridiculous it is. But we're not the only country that's experiencing a culture war. Another country in the Western Hemisphere is also experiencing their own culture war. Brazil. Brazil is doing just that. Currently, their president is Jair Bolsonaro, and he is, as I said, the current president of Brazil. And he is known for his extremely hard right wing politics. He's earned a reputation as being Brazil's Donald Trump. But Glenn Greenwald, who's the former editor, founder, and former editor of the Intercept, um, who lives in Brazil himself, married to David Miranda, who is a member of Congress from the Socialism Liberty Party. Glenn Greenwald basically said that Jair Bolsonaro is more similar to President Rodrigo Duarte of the Philippines than he would be to Donald Trump. So, in other words, with the right wing politics that Donald Trump has here in the United States as president, as the former president, Jair Bolsonaro is significantly further right than Donald Trump is. So that tells you what you need to know about Jair Bolsonaro. Well, a quick history of his life, and he's a former army captain of the Brazilian military. He was elected in 2018, and he's been serving as the president of Brazil since January 1st, 2019, when he was sworn in. His hard right politics borders fascism. I mean, and that's not hyperbole. When it comes to the role of women, it goes a little further than just being old fashioned and all of that. I mean, he's known for his extreme misogyny. He is a vile racist. He disparages interracial marriages. As you would know, Brazil is a very multicultural society, and he's one of the you know more Caucasian or white Brazilians that's part of the ruling elite class. Something that's kind of significant throughout Latin America. Um, he looks down at the indigenous people, like it down in over there by the Amazon. He has nothing but hatred for the indigenous people of his country. And what else? He's also extremely anti-gay, homophobic as hell. Um, and I mean, he wants to do to all the rights that the LGBTQ community were able to accomplish in Brazil. He wants all that reversed to make same-sex marriage illegal, to basically push the LGBTQ community back into the closet and treating them like third-class citizens and criminalizing their actual existence. That's the kind of person he is. It's not that he thinks that gay people are quote unquote icky. He thinks that they're so vile and so subhuman. He wants to actually push them back into the closet and criminalize their existence. No hyperbole. As an army captain in the military, he's been responsible for torture, and he is very pro torture. He's pro dictatorship, and he's made that very clear. He would love to be. He would love to be basically Augusto Pinochet, but speaking Portuguese instead. Um, He expressed his desire to murder 30,000 political opponents. Basically, 30,000 people being essentially the left within Brazil from the various left wing parties, trade union movement, things of that nature. He's extremely anti union. He's a hardcore capitalist that wants to slash wages. He wants to curtail union rights, and he believes in massive privatization. He's anti-environment. He's been involved with the deforestation of the Amazon rainforest, and that makes him one of the most dangerous heads of states on the entire planet because the Amazon rainforest is essentially the lungs of planet Earth, and he wants companies to come in there and deforest the rainforest for the sake of profit. And how the hell can you enjoy profit if human civilization is extinct because, global warming and the oxygen of the earth actually disappearing? I mean, he is an actual monster of a human being. He wants to restore the death penalty in Brazil, and although he was raised a Catholic. He's turned against Catholicism and became an evangelical Christian, which is kind of commonplace in Latin America. It's been throughout Latin America, while Roman Catholicism is the predominant religion, it's the dominant religion in the entire region of Latin America, from Mexico all the way down to Argentina and Chile and all the countries in between, from the North American continent down to the South American continent. There's been a growth or popularity of evangelical Protestant style Christianity within Latin America, probably probably in the last 50, 60, 70 years. And he's a part of that right there. Bolsonaro is is a dangerous man. Contrast that with Lula da Silva. Lula da Silva was a metal worker and trade union activist and leader. He became leader of the Workers' Party, which is a socialist or social democratic party, depending on how you define the two terms. I conflate socialism and social democracy as one, but he became leader of the Workers' Party, or the socialist, which is a socialist party, and he is an advocate of democracy. He's a civil libertarian. He is a free speech supporter. And Lula da Silva got elected in 2002. And Brazil was going through hard economic times prior to 2002. And he was able to win. He served as president of Brazil, from Brazil from 2003 to 2010. Brazil was in debt, and he was able to pay off the loans, that where Brazil got themselves in deep debt. Um, Having these debt paid off, he was able to expand social programs, which lifted millions of people out of poverty, and Brazil basically became again one of the most prosperous countries in Latin America while he was president. Now, whenever you hear demagogues in the United States, whether they're benign libertarians or whether they're conservative or the hard right or what have you, those that have a very market fundamentalist view of capitalism will lecture those that liberals, all the way to the socialists, to the hard left, about how socialism doesn't work because look at Venezuela. It's proof that socialism doesn't work. Well, Lula da Silva's Workers' Party government was also a socialist government, and they went and turned the nation's economy around, and it became one of the most prosperous countries in America. I never hear the right wing people in the United States talk about Lula because it won't fit their narrative. Now, I can tell you that, now the politics and the socialism of Hugo Chavez and later on Nicolas Maduro is a little further left than the politics of Lula da Silva, from what I can understand. The problem with Venezuela is not necessarily that their socialism doesn't work. It's that the fact that the United States wanted to pick on an oil-rich country and made life so difficult, and doing everything they could to go and collapse the economy, and to have the right wing eventually take back Venezuela. That's the end game for the United States, and they're doing everything they can to make the country suffer. Now, I wouldn't exactly, if I was in Venezuela, I more than likely would not vote for Hugo Chavez or Nicolas Maduro, his successor. Is not my particular kind of socialism. I'm more of a social democrat, and theirs is not social democracy. But Venezuela government were legitimately elected. In fact, Venezuela's elections are more they're more ethical and honest than elections that goes on here in the United States. Um, but anyway, so next time you hear anybody here in this audience, when you get lectured about Venezuela, throw Brazil back in these right wingers' face when it comes to Lula da Silva's accomplishments as the president of Brazil. Anyway, there were corruption charges, that and bogus corruption charges with a connection to Bolsonaro against Lula da Silva, whereby Lula da Silva was serving prison time from essentially April 2019 till last week, March 5th. He was released from prison. My 52nd birthday, by the way. That's a nice birthday present. But anyway, the character assassination of Lula is not unlike the character assassinations of other people. Look, in Great Britain, for example, how Jeremy Corbyn, the leader of the British Labour Party, was denounced as an anti-Semite over and over and over again, just because he criticized some of the horrible policies the Israeli government's committing against Palestinians. And the thing about it is, um, he um, he has been a staunch opponent of anti-Semitism all his life, a staunch opponent of racism all his life, a staunch opponent of all bigotry. That was Jeremy Corbyn, and then when several years ago, when Theresa May defeated him in an election, she was only able to govern in Great Britain through an alliance with the Unionist Democratic Party. I believe that's what they're called, in Northern Ireland, which is anti-Catholic, anti-gay, and when you're usually anti-Catholic and anti-gay, usually anti-Semitism is not that far away from that worldview. But oh, the nobody calls out Theresa May, who I do not think is an anti-Catholic or anti-gay, but nobody called her out for reaching out to that political party in Northern Ireland. But they go and they want to demonize Jeremy Corbyn, or here in the United States, demonizing Bernie Sanders for saying maybe there are some benign things he says about Cuba and Nicaragua under the Sandinistas. And they're using that as a saying, well, that must mean that Bernie Sanders likes communism. Well, here's the problem with that. Those same right wingers who would go and denounce Bernie Sanders for saying some benign policies that actually exist in places like Cuba and Nicaragua when it comes to literacy programs or healthcare, are the same people who would say, well, they didn't like everything that Pinochet ever done, but they loved the fact that he privatized the entire economy. And so, if you're going to go and denounce Bernie Sanders or for liking certain things in the countries whose politics you generally don't agree with, they can throw that back at the right winger and say, "Well, what the fuck are you doing?" Saying that you like what they did down in Chile under Pinochet. So, so anyway, I've gotten kind of off track. Let me get back to Lula. As I said, the country was prosperous under Lula da Silva, probably one of the most prosperous countries in Latin America at the time. The Brazilian Supreme Court declared these as corruption charges that were bogus, and he was released from prison along with 5,000 other people who were also released from prison. So there will be an election in the year 2022, and it looks like it's possible that Lula da Silva might run again, since his record is clean and his reputation is salvaged. So it's possible that he may run again, and if that happens, it's plausible that he could win. At least I hope he wins. I hope to see the Workers' Party make a comeback, and I hope to see fascism once again being defeated soundingly in Brazil. So there you have it. Anyway, um, I am American Social Democracy. If you like what you heard, press like and comment. If you didn't agree with me, comment anyway. Feel free to share the content on this channel. As a First Amendment absolutist, it's my duty to inform you to create your own platform and utilize it, because we're the muckrakers of our time. We truly are. And hit that subscribe button and that for the notification bell, so you can just hear me go on and on and on and on and on and on and on about what I love to go on and on and on and on and on about, which is politics in general. So, as I said, just go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. And until next time, I am American Social Democracy. Peace and class struggle yesterday, today, and tomorrow, until we have full economic and social justice for all. Win, Lula. Win.